Good day, class. For our subject Business Finance, our lesson for this week is about the computation of loan amortization. First, let us have a review of our lesson last week. So our topic last week was about the present value of money and the future value of money. And here are the formula in getting or computing the future value of money and the present value of money as shown in the screen of your computers. There are two ways to get the final amount of the figures. The first is by computing step by step using this formula, and the other way is using the table of interest, and that is to see the figure as computed by as what you can see inside the open and close parentheses. Now let us discuss our topic for this week, the computation of loans. By this example, Corporation A is raising 500 million through a bond issue, which they announced it on public on February 4, 2020. In a disclosure to the local stock exchange, the company said its board of directors approved on Tuesday night the offering of Corporation B securities through subsidiary Corporation C. The corporate bonds would yield 5.5% per annum and would be guaranteed by Corporation A. Corporation D, Corporation E, and Corporation F were the joint lead managers and book runners. Corporation A, owned by the Philippines' third richest man, Richard Dalisay, is into 30 terminal concessions and port development projects in 20 countries. Based on the above article, what do you understand about bonds? How is it different from loan? So mula dito sa nabasa natin na situation, ano masasabi niyo rito? Ito ba ay bond or simple loan? So as mentioned, it is bond. So ano nga ba ang pagkakaiba ng bond at ng loan? Loan, which is also long-term, can be understood as bonds, but they are actually different from each other. So anyway, you can also get more information about the difference of these two when you do your research via Google. Now, have you experienced applying for loan from a bank, or have you witnessed someone from your family applying for one? Have you seen an amortization schedule? Are you familiar with the features of loan, interest rates, term of payment, etc.? When you start working in a bank or in any lending company, you can see an amortization schedule. At doon ma-encounter nyo rin yung mga requirements sa pagpapautang. Also, when your family member, let's say your parents, borrowed money, they will get this amortization schedule as their guide for their monthly installment payments. So the contents of a loan agreement are as follows: amount of principal, maturity date, and provision for repayment. The term of the loan, is it for lump sum or monthly payment? Grace period if applicable. Yung iba kasi guys, pagka halimbawa nag-loan kayo ngayon na release yung loan nyo, 100,000 let's say, kailan kayo mag-start ng bayad? Sabihin natin mga after 2 months pa. So yun, may grace period na 2 months. Also the interest rates, loan or bond covenants, or the required ratios to be maintained, penalties for default, at saka collateral documents if applicable. So yung collateral, sanla mo mangungutang ka tapos collateral mo yung bahay, or bahay at lupa mo, so yung title ng iyong property, yun yung isusurrender mo sa bangko. Now, let us relate the present value topic to this loan and bond pricing. Let us illustrate what we have learned in the previous module regarding present value. The discussion follows the viewpoint of the lender o yung nagpapautang. Pricing for the loan or bond will nevertheless be the same. Example, you are willing to invest a sum of money that will yield 100,000 at the end of 1 year. How much you should invest today if the investment earns 10% interest? So, dinidetermine natin dito magkano yung i-invest ko ngayon para after a year ay maging 100,000 pesos na ito. The answer, the amount to be invested or the present value should be equal to 100,000 times yung 1 over open close parenthesis 1.101 and it is equals to 90,909.09. So ito yung amount na dapat mong invest para after 1 year sa 10% interest magiging 100,000 pesos nito. So that's the application of the present value. Present value of interest payments or annuity. In addition to receiving the face value of maturity, the investor lender also receives periodic interest payments over the life of the bond. Periodic. These periodic payments, as mentioned in the previous module, are called annuities. To illustrate, assume that you will receive 10,000 annually for 3 years and the interest rate is 10%. So nakikita nyo dito sa example illustration natin, no? Yung present value niya ay 24,868. Tapos may tatlong hulugan na or annuity na tinatawag na tigta 10,000 pesos. From the table or by using the formula provided in the earlier module, we get the present value of annuity factor for 3 periods using 10% interest at 2.4869. Multiplying this factor by 10,000 provides a present value of interest payments of 24,868.60. Now, the present value of a bond. So we're not talking about the value of the bond. To calculate the present value or the price of a bond, we need to combine both the present values of the face value and the annuity payments. So, yung example natin kanina, annuity payments yun, yung tigka 10,000, tapos i-combine pa natin yung face value. In our previous example, suppose that a bond will face value of 100,000 pays interest of 10% annually and matures in 3 years. What is the price of the bond? Answer, first we'll find the present value of the face of the bond that is equal to 100,000 times 1 over 1.10 multiplied by 3. So, nakuha natin sagot na 75,131.40. So, this is the present value of the face of the bond na 100,000. Next, we compute for the present value of annuity payments of 10,000 pesos annual interest. So, 100,000 times 0.1. This was computed earlier in our example, 24,868.6. Therefore, the price of the bond is 100,000 face value at 10% for 3 years, so 75,131.4. 10,000 interest for 3 years, 24,868.6. Ang total niyan, 100,000 pesos, which is the price of the bond. Take note that interest payments may be made semi-annually or even monthly. In this case, we need to adjust the interest rates and time periods accordingly. Let's talk about the bonds issued at a discount. When bonds are issued below the face or par value, they are said to be issued at a discount. Discount occurs when the required rate of return is greater than the nominal rate of return. Example, we have a 100,000 bond with stated rate of 10% and effective rate or the required rate of return of 12% that pays interest semi-annually and has a maturity of 3 years. At what price should the bond be issued? So, first we need to compute the amount of interest payments semi-annually, which is equal to 100,000 times 10% times 6/12. Bakit 6/12? Kasi 3 years tapos 2 beses ka magbabayad in 1 year. Semi-annual. So, that is equal to 5,000. The total period is 6 years. And the discount rate to be used is 6%. Paano nakuha yun? 12% divided by 2. The price of the bond is as follows. 100,000 face value at 6% for 6 periods equals to 70,496.05, and the interest of 5,000 for 6 periods, that is 24,568.62. Add mo yan dalawang yan, lalabas ang 95,082.67 at yun yung price of the bond. Now, this time, bonds issued at a premium. When bonds are issued above par value, they are said to be issued at a premium. It occurs when the required rate or the effective rate is below the stated or nominal rate. Let us recall our previous example but use 8% effective rate instead of 12%. It will result in the following bond price. So the price of the bond is 105,242.13. Paano nakuha yun? 100,000 face value at 4% for 6 periods, 79,031.45. And then 5,000 interest for 6 periods, 26,210. Total yan, yung 105,242. The effective interest method distinguishes two types of interest rate. The nominal rate or the stated rate and effective rate or the market rate. When the bond is sold at a discount, the effective rate is higher than the nominal rate. Tandaan yan, class. When the bond is sold at a discount, the effective rate is higher than the nominal rate. On the other hand, when the bond is sold at a premium, the effective rate is lower than the nominal rate. Using this method, the amortization of bond discount or premium results in periodic interest expense equals to a constant percentage of the carrying amount of the bonds. Before we take a look at the sample table or the example amortization schedule, let us check the following steps, and these are required under the effective interest method. Number 1, calculate the bond interest expense by multiplying the carrying amount of the bonds at the beginning of the interest period by the effective interest rate. Number 2, calculate the bond interest paid or accrued by multiplying the face value of the bonds by the contractual interest rate. And number 3, calculate the amortization amount by determining the difference 1 and 2. So ito na example. So this is the amortization or the amortization schedule para sa bonds issued at a discount. So in summary, yung period niya, 6 semi-annual periods, and that is for 3 years. Effective interest rate, 12%. Stated rate, 10%. Face value, 100,000. Tsaka issue price, 95,082.68. So ito yung at a discount. Kung susundin natin yung steps, balikan natin. Calculate the bond interest expense by multiplying the carrying amount of the bonds at the beginning of the interest period by effective interest rate. So, yung carrying balance nito ay 95,082.68. So, yan yung issue price kasi at a discount yan. It is said that there is a fixed interest to be paid na 5%. Paano nakuha yon? 100,000 na face value times 5%. So, fix yung 5,000 yan 4 over 6 periods. Now, para makuha yung interest expense equals carrying amount by 6%. So, 95,082.68 times 6%, ang lalabas na figure ay 5,704.96. Ngayon, paano makukuha yung i-amortize natin na 704.96 dito sa column na amortization of discount equals interest expense minus interest paid? Para makuha yan, yung interest expense column 5,704.96, i-minus natin dyan ang 5,000, yung interest to be paid. So, nakuha natin yung 704.96. Ano ang magiging treatment natin dyan sa 704.96? Mula doon sa carrying balance na 95,082.68. Ipa-plus natin yan. So, 95,082.68 plus 704.96 equals to 95,787.64. Now, this is now the carrying value after the first period. Let us compute na para sa second period. Tandaan natin, ang carrying value na natin yun ay 95,787.64. So, let's get the 6% of this, which is 5,747.26. At i-minus ulit natin dyan yung 5,000, makukuha natin yung 747.26. And so on and so forth hanggang sa matapos yung 6th period, ang face value pa rin niya ang lalabas, which is also the carrying balance. So, 100,000. So, yan yung pinapakita nitong amortization schedule of bonds issued at a discount. Now, let us see this amortization of bonds issued at a premium. O this time, premium naman. So, tingnan natin, ang face value niya, 100,000. Effective interest rate ay 8%, stated rate ay 10%. So, ang issue price niya, 105,202.14 for over 6 periods ulit. So, ang carrying balance niya ngayon ay 105,242 kasi ito ay at a premium. Ngayon, same process, 105,242.14 times 4%. So, makukuha natin si 4,209.69. At dito, ibawas natin si 5,000, kaya negative ang resulta. Yun yung negative 790 pesos, 0.31. At dito, sa negative na yan, ang effect niyan, 105,242.14 minus 790.31 equals to 104,451.83. So, yan na yung bagong carrying value niya or carrying balance after the first period of installment. So, ang kukumpitin natin ngayon ay para sa second period, same process, 104,451.83 multiplied by the 4%. So, lalabas 4,178.07 minus ulit natin si 5,000 kaya negative 821.93. So, pansinin nyo, yung column na interest expense, pababa, yung amortization of premium ay pataas ng pataas. At the end, 100,000 pa rin ang lalabas niya, yung face value. So, remember, amortization of the discount or premium brings the carrying value or balance equal to the face value of the bond upon maturity. Bond issue costs or direct loan expenses are either added to the carrying value of the bond or loan in case of a premium or subtracted from the carrying value of the bond or loan in case of a discount. So, this is straight line amortization. This method is not allowed in our country's accounting standards but is allowed in other countries. The straight line method provides for an equal amortization of bond, premium of discount. The procedure is simply to divide the amount of the bond premium of bond discount by the life of the bond to arrive at the periodic amortization. So why an amortization schedule can be helpful? There are many ways that you can use the information in a loan amortization schedule. Knowing the total amount of interest you pay over the lifetime of a loan is a good incentive to get you to make principal payments early. When you make extra payments that reduce outstanding principal, they also reduce the amount of future payments that have to go toward interest. That is why small additional amount paid can make a huge difference. Kaya yung iba guys, nag-a-advance sila ng bayad, no? Halimbawa, ang monthly amortization nila ay 2,500. Distributed na yun sa principal, sa interest. So, yung iba nagbabayad ng 3,000 kasi malaki ang kabawasan niya or nakakabawas siya sa principal kapag lagi tayong nag-a-advance or nagdadagdag. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. Although, mapupunta lang naman muna yan sa interest bago sa principal. So, ganyan nag-work yung mga loan sa bangko. Now, for our question of the week, how is the interest of an amortized loan calculated? It is calculated based on the most recent beginning balance of the loan. Letter B, it is calculated based on the most previous ending balance of the loan. It is calculated based on the most recent ending balance of the loan. It is calculated based on the most recent beginning balance of the loan. Comment your answers on the comment section. So hanggang dito na lang ang ating lesson guys. See you again next week for our next lesson. Have a nice day.